Here with Concordia head track and field coach Matt Beisel, as the Concordia invite is almost concluded with shot put.
Got shot put finishing up behind us.
Yep. Just hit on the highlights. This is the last meet before conference, last chance to get some marks before then. How satisfied are you with kind of how things ran off today?
Well, one of the things that just kind of made the day perfect for me was the distance medley relay, our first event of the day in the running events. And we had given 2 shots at trying to qualify with the men and had to do it by ourselves. Nobody would run it, and that's really tough to do when you have a relay like that. And so I had pretty much given up on it, and then Doan asked us, hey, could you add the distance medley relay? And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then Samuels and I were talking. He's like, are you going to run your DMR again? And I'm like, well, I wasn't planning on it, but I mean, with Doan there, who has a good team, it makes sense. And so after that conversation, I was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. So our game plan was, look, let's stay with Doan, either a little ahead of them or right on their shoulder the whole way, work together with them, and let's see what we can do. And our hope was to hit a decent B standard, which would still put us up in that, top 12. And lo and behold, as we came into the final stretch of the 1600, Von Hendrickson, who ran a 4:33 PR in high school last year, dropped to 4:16.7 and got us there with the help, obviously, of Lucas Corwin, a freshman coming out of Nebraska Lutheran, who dropped the PR in the 400 split. You had Trey Robertson ran his fastest ever 1200 at the lead, and then we had Justin Sherman came through big, ran a 157 point, and in the 800, and there we were. So that made me really happy. Another thing was race walk. We obviously Jonathan Jerkin, Coach Hoger calls him Johnny the Jet. So Johnny dropped over a minute off of his personal best. He's already got the automatic standard, so this is going to move him up nationally into that top 3 to 5 range, which is incredible. For a guy to walk 3,000 meters in 13 whatever it was. But then to top it off, Luke Hamming, who was a 1/10 of a second off the B standard after his last meet, he dropped a minute. So he is now going to be situated in that top 20 in a hopefully solid position. And then Samuel Olson dropped a minute off of his personal best and got himself into the B standard. So that was incredible. So that's just 2 events. But then I saw a lot of PRs as I've been, I go through and I process all the results. And as I've been writing them down all day, I saw personal best, the men's long jump. That was really good. Aaron Spivey had a big season best in the triple, and he got to win, which was cool. The 3,000 meters, almost everybody had a big PR. And in the pole vault, we had some good things happen. Mason once again won, got over 16 feet. Definitely earning his National Athlete of the Week. Super cool to see that. Trying to think of what else is on my radar. Abby Wolgamuth. She's a senior out of Lincoln Lutheran. She took the old 20-pound weight and hurled that sucker 19, I think it was 0.24 meters, which was 63 feet and change. That moves her to number 2 on the number 2 on the national list, and that was super cool. Carson Fellhofer, I think, had an all-time personal best in the shot put and got himself like 51 and change on the shot, and that's a good thing. Off the top of my head, I have no idea what's going on back here, but I do know there has been some excitement on the Concordia Bulldog side, so I'm really interested to see how our ladies did. There were probably some other things, but just really proud of everybody. I think our women's sprints, Trinity Tolles won the 400 with an all-time best, and Izzy Salters broke 60 for the first time and ran in the 58s, got 3rd place. Our hurdlers, again, Izzy had a big PR. You had in the 200 and in the 60 some great races from everybody. So I'm just pretty darn happy with it, and we got conference coming up, so big things coming up. Yeah, that's off the top of my head. If I forgot anybody, I love you. I'm sorry. It's a lot.
There's a lot of people competing. Yes. I guess lastly, how do you assess kind of where things are going into conference with the men and women right now?
You know, it remains to be seen. We are a team that steps up and exceeds whatever our projections are. We do it over and over again. I do think right now, our women, Doan is looking very strong, and our women are going to have to fight for everything they've got, not just to beat Doan, but Dort, who's come on really strong. So it's going to be a battle, three-way battle, I think, on the women's side between us, Dort, and Doan. On the men's side, Doan just looks dominant. They're still so strong in a lot of events, and congratulations to them. And then Dort is also up there. I think our guys are going to be battling for a third place position with Midland. That's something I think we can do. We've got a lot of depth, and even though they have some really talented individuals, I think our guys have a lot more depth, and so we'll see what happens. I'm not going to rule out a second place finish because our guys are killing it and they're amazing, and I'm proud of them. And so we'll just have to see what God's plans are when we get to conference next week.
Got it.